Hello again, friends and loyal Wolfpack members. Chaos Wolf here, and welcome back to the channel. Now, yesterday, Frontier released newsletter 117, in which we had a few more snippets. But I need to go and include something that I forgot to include last video. Something that is coming in 2.1. And that was a picture of an SRV driving around the planet leaving tyre tracks. Now, the problem was, at the time, I didn't realise that we didn't already leave tyre tracks on the planet. It goes to show how much time I spend driving around planets, and how much time I actually spend paying attention to this. So, my bad. Sorry about that. But yes, basically, as soon as 2.1 hits, when you go driving around planetary surfaces, you will be able to see your vehicle's track marks behind you. Well, your tyre marks behind you in the dust. So that's going to be really interesting, add an extra level of immersion. Now, let's move on to this week's newsletter. This week, the first picture we got is this lovely thing here. And what this is some concept art of a engineer's base. So what we're going to be able to do at these bases, it says we need to land at the bases. Well, obviously, they're going to be planet-side, as you can tell. And when you land, you're going to be able to offer commodities, data, or materials, or perhaps a combination of all, for some unique modules. Now, the phrasing here I'm a little bit iffy with. I'm not sure whether this means we are going to be able to modify existing modules on our ship, or whether or not these engineers are just going to have a catalogue of different modules that we can basically choose from. So perhaps we'll just have a list of the same type of module. Perhaps we go to one engineer and they'll have just like a massive selection of plasma cannons, let's say, for example. And all these plasma cannons are roughly the same, except they have just slightly different stats. Like maybe one doesn't fire as often, like maybe it fires 10% less often, but it does like 10% more damage or something per shot. Perhaps one has blue plasma balls, perhaps one has green, one has yellow. We don't really know what they're going to have at this point. At the moment, all we have is speculation. But I'm finding it really interesting, especially since if we have a look at the picture itself, we can see that it's a design that we haven't seen before. You can see that there's certain parts of the base protruding out of the rock formation. You can see it at the bottom. We've got what looks like walkways coming out of the natural formation of rock. And all the landing pads are in blue rather than in the standard yellow. Now, does this mean that we are going to be getting HUD color customizations? That would be very nice. Now, what this might be is a way to just differentiate the difference between a engineer's base and like a standard settlement, so on. So that might be what it is. It might also mean that we can then customize our HUD colors, and that would be really nice to have. A lot of people do really want the ability to customize their HUD colors in-game rather than having to go out of game to do this. I wouldn't mind this because I don't like mucking around with game files, really. Now, next in the newsletter is something very interesting. We had 30 commanders meeting up 50,000 light years, or over 50,000 light years away from Sol, and they were having a race. So this is the race that is the single furthest distance away from habitable space that we know of to date. And I'm assuming that this was part of the Distant Worlds expedition. Now, as you may or may not have known, I was part of the Distant Worlds expedition up until about waypoint 2. Yeah, I didn't get very far. I don't really have that much staying power. Yes, I know, that's what she said. But yes, that was an absolutely awesome little bit of basically community spirit and stuff that's gone together. And I really think that these guys, Dr. Kai and I forget the other guy's name, they have done an absolutely amazing job with this. And so many people have gone on, had so much fun with it. So guys, I salute you. Now, the next part in the newsletter is an advertisement for HCS voice packs. What they are doing is they are bringing out a brand new voice pack. What this one is it is called Orion, and this ties into why I was doing my Vulcan greeting or whatever it is at the beginning of the video. It is William Shatner. So he is doing a voice pack for Voice Attack with HCS voice packs. Yeah, a lot of voice in there. And apparently this pack contains over 1,300 phrases from the legendary actor himself, and it's available now for pre-order. Now, Obsidian Ant has done a video with this already, and I have seen this video, but I've got to admit, I'm not a big William Shatner fan myself. I think he's a great actor, but I was never really much of a Star Trek, the original series or so on. I was more the Next Generation and Deep Space Nine kind of guy, but at the end of the day, I do prefer my Star Wars much greatly over my Star Trek, but that's just me. Your mileage may vary. I know a lot of people are probably going in the comments, Chaos, how can you not like Star Trek? I say, I do like Star Trek, I was just never a big fan of the William Shatner Star Trek. Yes, I may burn in hell for this, but there it is. So if you want to go and have a look at this, head over to HCS Voice Packs, and it'll be on there, and it'll be available for pre-purchase. Okay, and now for the Horizons highlights. Stev Veenhov, I'm probably butchering this horrendously, has a link in the newsletter to an album which is entitled Planetside Formation Flying, and this is a very nice little album. I'd recommend going checking it out, see what you think. Let me know in the comments what you think of it, and yeah. Next, Rome3D posted a link on Reddit to his album titled Colours of Exploration. Basically, it is an album of all the different nebulae and so on around in his exploration trips, and it is a very intense and interesting looking album. I've seen a lot of this kind of personally whilst I've been out exploring myself, and I can tell you that the galaxy looks so different from outside the bubble, you would not believe. If you've watched any of my exploration videos, you will know this as well. Moving on, Dr. Kai has gone and uploaded a video to YouTube detailing the antics of what happened at Waypoint 21 of the Distant Worlds expedition. I haven't checked this out myself yet, but I will in short order. But Dr. Kai, as well as the other organisers of the Distant Worlds expedition, have put a lot of work into the Distant Worlds expedition, so please do go and show him your support by having a look at this video. And this next picture here is Commander Glory in his Corvette looking over a settlement. It is a very nice picture with the sun setting in the horizon. It's a very powerful picture, and I myself am really looking forward to getting myself a Corvette soon. I have the rank, just not the money yet. Now, moving swiftly onwards, Elite Dangerous on the Xbone or Xbox One, if you're not quite as condescending as me, is now on sale at a 33% price reduction. So if you do want to get into Elite Dangerous and don't own basically a PC powerful enough to run it, you can pick it up on Xbox One. Now, please, if you do go and do this, bear in mind that Xbox One commanders cannot actually go and wing up with PC and Mac commanders. Unfortunately, that is not possible at the moment. Although it has recently been patched in that Xbox One commanders who have first discovered things, like they all have their first discovered by tags, they will now show up on PC and Mac. So that is absolutely epic, and I'm really happy that that kind of integration has come in. Now, I'm just really hoping that one day we're going to be able to get the integration of actually being able to fly with Xbox commanders along with the PC and Mac commanders. Now, I understand that there's difficulties with this at the moment, especially since it's the difference between using controllers and so on, but you can use controllers in the PC version, so I don't see why this is. But anyway, let's move on. Okay, this next bit of news I'm not really too fussed about myself. This is Frontier has gone and released some new bobbleheads. They are the Lost Wind bobbleheads from a game that is being released on Steam at the moment. And it's like a 2D side-scrolling platformer almost, but with a twist. It's where you go and control a lot of it with the wind. You control the wind, I believe. I don't know if you control the character or not, but you definitely control the wind. So that's going to be it's an interesting concept for a game, and the characters out of this game have been released as bobbleheads for Elite Dangerous. Now, this is not too much that's very interesting for me, because I don't know, this is the clash of styles, really. I don't think they kind of fit in. I don't think having these characters on your dashboard on your ship is really something that appeals to me. It may appeal to you, but yeah. And speaking of Lost Winds, Mrs. Chaos Wolf will actually be going and recording some videos of this, because it's not something that's my kind of speed of game. I do prefer something a little bit different. But it's really right down her alley, so she is going to be doing some recording of this and uploading it to her YouTube channel. When she gets around to doing this, I will basically let you guys know if you want to go and have a look at it. So if you can go and support her, that'd be great. If not, yeah, whatever, we don't mind. Okay, over on Reddit as well, there is an Ask Me Anything with Elite Dangerous and Elite 1. They either will or have been joined by representatives from the distant worlds, and they're also having representatives from the Paladin Consortium and the Church of Space Cat. Now, I'll be honest, this is the first time I heard of the Church of Space Cat. It sounds rather hilarious, I'll be honest. And I might have to go and have a look at this myself. Now, usually I do avoid I usually do avoid forums and Reddit and stuff like the plague, because it's just not something that interests me. But this is something I'm definitely going to go and have a look at, because I'm really curious as to what was covered there. I always like to find out what strange and odd questions and that are usually asked by the community of these kind of developers and people. So I'm going to have to go and have a look at that and see what weird and wonderful directions it went and took. And after all this in the newsletter, there was just roundups of all the things that have happened and basically anything that's going on. But there is also a list of the current community goals. Now I'm going to use my phone here to go and read this off, because I'm never going to remember this, to try and read these off one at a time. We've got the Billionaire's Treasure Hunt. Location unknown. Follow the billionaire's clues to find a mystery object and deliver it to win part of his fortune and other prizes. So what are the other prizes? Are they going to be more ships? Is it just cash prizes? We do not know. Next one is Terraforming Venic 1. Basically go to Nixon Enterprise even in Venic and deliver land enrichment systems even. Normally I would cut this stuff out, but this is just that last bit, so I'm probably not got that much viewer retention at the moment, so let me know if you've actually got this far. Next one is neutralizing the unknown artifact threat. Again, over at Obsidian Orbital. Where else is this going to be happening? What they are asking for is meta alloys, so that they can pretty much guarantee that Obsidian Orbital is going to be free of any problems from these unknown artifacts. So they're basically trying to give the station an immunity to the technovirus which is taking over the system. So if you're in the system, if you're in the Maya system, go and give them a help out, because Obsidian Ant, he is a great guy. Go and help him out, help his orbital, and we'll have another waypoint that is not going to be completely and utterly screwed up all the time by players just wanting to watch the world burn. Moving on to the comms chatter, Imgur user De Silva, I think that's how you pronounce it, has gone and created himself a set of foot pedals to control his ship in Elite Dangerous using an old keyboard. Now, this is a very creative way of actually going about solving this problem if you don't want to go and spend exuberant amounts of money on an official set of flight pedals. So, if you are thinking of doing if you have the idea to go and do the same, go and check it out, see what he's done, and perhaps you can follow in his footsteps. Pun totally intended. Also, Commander Bad Koala has gone and made a GIF of him sitting in an eagle taking heat damage. So you can see the heat damage being taken to the ship from outside in third person. It's a really kind of interesting little GIF, because I never realised that you could see the heat damage, sparks and so on coming up from your console from outside the ship. I wasn't aware that actually translated to outside the ship, but apparently it does, and it makes for a really interesting image. This next one I'm going to read from my phone again, because I want to do it justice. I don't want to have to try and remember it and screw up quite a bit. What this one says is, proving that there's no age limit on becoming a Pilots Federation commander, Reddit user gman74 shared this photo of his 82-year-old Chinese father-in-law getting lost in a resource extraction site via the Oculus Rift DK2. I think I'll put the picture up in the background if I remember. but it's absolutely amazing, I think, because I do love Elite Dangerous for the absolutely amazing community that it has, and the fact that it transcends age, gender, and all this. So I do think it is a really amazing game and community, and the fact that you can have commanders that are 80 odd years old, or all the way down to teenage years. I mean, in the Wolfpack itself, we have a massive age demographic of commanders from young to old, and it's absolutely amazing. And this is one of the best, if not the best even, gaming communities I have ever been a part of, so thank you, Frontier, for that. But anyway, this brings us to the end of this newsletter. There's been a good amount to cover, and a few things that one thing that I forgot from last week, but I'm really pumped to find out what we get in patch 2.1. Now, unfortunately, as I'm sure everyone is now fully aware, 2.1 has been pushed back by a few months. It is going to be turning up around, or it should be turning up, current estimates at least, around about May to June time. We're hoping to have the beta for it in May, and a full release in June. Whether or not this ends up happening, or whether or not it gets pushed back again, is another thing. Now, a lot of commanders have expressed what's the word I'm looking for? Dislike or annoyance at the fact that the patch has been pushed back so far, because we were kind of promised a patch once every quarter throughout the year, and it seems like the first major patch of the Horizons update is coming 6 months into the year, and I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Personally, I think that it goes to show that they're trying to give the update justice. They're trying to make sure that it's fully polished and that it conveys what they want it to do. Pretty much, they want it to hit all the right notes, let's say. They say they're reworking the bulletin board and the way all that works, so I'm really looking forward to seeing how this goes. But what do you guys think? Do you think it is unacceptable that we're having to wait so long for an update, or do you understand where Frontier are coming from and that they want to go and make sure that they get it as right as possible? As always, comment down in the comment field, let me know what's going on. But anyway guys, that's the end of this video. I do hope you've enjoyed it, and I do hope you've come away knowing a little bit more about what's going to be happening over the next couple of months. So anyway, Commanders, as always, I've been Commander Chaos Wolf, you guys have been epic, I will see you soon, and until then, Commanders, keep flying and stay shining.